Ladies and gents, welcome back, and I thank you for joining me. Today we are reviewing a piece of kit that's been sent to us from a company called Apollo Blades. I will pop their logo up on the screen, but they have been kind enough to send me two knives, both of which are exactly the same, and we're just going to put it through some testing. We're going to create some feather sticks, which I will admit isn't my forte, but practice makes perfect, and why not practice with a brand new blade. We're going to batten some wood. We're going to see generally how well this knife performs. So I have unpackaged these and had a brief look. Just I didn't want to be bringing the box out with me, etc. But upon first glance, leather sheath, wooden handle. It's a full tang knife, stainless steel with stainless steel rivets, as you can see there. Still currently in its sheath. It comes with this leather tie just for hanging it. Okay, so first impression for me initially, it's very nice that they've sent a sheath with it. More than helpful. It's just a little bit plain. I'd like to have seen something a little bit more. You know, maybe a little pocket here, ferro rod holder on the back end, something like that. But nonetheless, it's got your belt loop on it. It protects your knife and it stops your knife from cutting you. So let's pop it open and we'll take that guard off. So this is the knife at first glance. As I say, stainless steel blade, hardened wood handle, stainless rivets. I like this profile. It's reminds me slightly of a Bowie knife, but yeah, with the indentations here, if you're using it for food, that should stop stuff sticking to it. And first glance, it's a good looking knife. In the hand, it does feel nice. Feels a little bit, to me personally, feels a little bit small in my hand, but there's no reason why we can't get away with using it for what we need to. I don't know why I was expecting this spine to be a little bit thicker, probably because This is my go-to. This is my normal day, sort of camp to camp knife. Fits beautifully in my hand. Again, full tang, and that's just a comparison of the thickness. As you can see, that knife of mine is ever so slightly thicker. So we have got some bits of dry wood here. There we go. You get some really nice curls off that. So there you go. So I would say test 1 is passed, and test 2 you can butcher yourself with it, so it's past that as well. It's not that deep, it'd be right. So yeah, feather sticks, it will do nicely. And for this, as I've just found out, it's better to use the back end of the knife and just sort of graze over the wood. Not dig in, because the minute you start properly digging in, you'll just lose what you're trying to do, and it won't work very well. I am just going to take a minute just to wrap this, because I'm getting blood everywhere. We are back. I've wrapped up the finger and got blood all over the blade. Got blood all over my pants. But hey ho, these things happen. Always be careful with knives, kids, they're sharp. So the other, or one of the other main tests I wanted to run with this was battening. And I've got quite a chunky piece of wood here, and my club. So that's just my water, because we have got the small firebox, which you've not seen on the channel, with me, and I treated myself to a new billy can. So we're going to get a brew on in a bit, and I've got a steak and veg British Army ration pack with me, MRE, for those of you that use that phrase instead, but they've always been ration packs to me. So yeah, that's what I've got. So as you can see, it isn't pre-cut. When I spoke to Apollo Blades initially, I did tell them that if they would allow me to test one of their blades, I would be honest with my reviews. Just because they've sent it me, I'm not going to sit here and, if it's not the case, say, yeah, it's the all singing, all dancing piece of kit, which is why we're doing these tests. So you've seen how it is with feather sticks just before I start battening down on this piece of nylon cordage, and it cuts through that. Absolutely no dramas, straight through, no questions asked, and it doesn't struggle. So how is it going to get on with this? Do you know what? I was with the grain, so let's see how it is across the grain. Jesus. Needless to say, I am impressed. Oh, struggling a little bit with that one. Let's turn it over and see how it does this way. So that is a slightly more seasoned piece of wood. Now, I'm not saying you couldn't get through it, but it's not happy trying to get through that. It's got a good chunk through though, to be fair. I mean, it is going. I took a little bit more grief, but it's put up with it. It's not warped. It's still sharp. We can get a little fire going in here, to which we can get a brew on. Worst jigsaw ever. Until it goes right, and then it's the best jigsaw ever because we can boil water and get a brew and have some food. Oh, biscuits. I haven't got any biscuits. I wish I had biscuits. But I'm sure there is some of you out there that will get that reference.
A few moments later.
$5. Here comes the rain. I've got a tarp, but I'm in quite an open area here. It's alright, we'll press on. Let's hope it subsides. The wood wool. A little bit of firewood in there as well because it seems to take really nicely. And that is what we want. So I am going to use, in fact, before, no, we can put them on in a minute. I'm going to use the back of the Apollo Blades Brabus knife. Oh, there we go. We've caught. Drop a little bit more of this firewood in there. What, wood wool. So yeah, the mic decided to fail on me. People keep saying you need to use a mic, so I do, and then we get technical errors. But we'll figure it out and we will press on anyway. So I'm just battening down some further smaller pieces of wood. Obviously the firebox isn't particularly big, but it works well. So just make some thinner pieces of wood so they're nice and dry, and we can chuck them in and get them burning away so we can get this brew on. So we'll just keep loading this up. Get some dry wood. That's evidently a wet piece of wood. So we'll get shut of that and just keep feeding it nicely. Get that nice and hot, and then it shouldn't take too long to get the boil on. We'll pop the cross on the top, so then we've got somewhere for the billy can and brew can to sit. Nice and bonny. And here we have the brand new titanium billy can. It is nested
with the brew cup inside. The larger billy can being about 750ml, and then we're going to use that one for our MRE, and the other one, which is slightly smaller, comes in at 350ml, I think it is. At this point I thought my mic was still working, so that's why I turned it towards me. Evidently it wasn't. So we'll just pop the brew cup on top, get it filled up with some water, and then we'll wait for that to boil. And we will get a standard British Army brew on. Yeah, went to reach to pull the lid off the can there, realised it wasn't a good idea because it's probably hot. Grab a stick, it's too big, so we're just going to whittle that down so then it's small enough to fit through the loop on top of the can. Should be about right, I think. Perfect. Yeah, water's still boiling away, nice and bonny. Well, getting towards the boil. This woodland, or edge of the woodland, I mean, is just insane. So I'm just going to wet the handle here and just see how it feels, how the grip is when it's wet. And it doesn't feel too bad. It's not particularly slippy. So if you are using this in the rain, you are still going to be able to keep a decent grip of it. And it dries out pretty well. Right, it is brew time for sure. So standard British Army MRE coffee, instant coffee, with the creamer that comes along with it, and a couple of sugars will get banged in there as well. Let's sit this way, it's much more comfortable. There we go, a couple of sugars. Happy days. Give it a little mixy mix. Oh, that's the badger, there we go. Happy days. Right. Yeah, probably not a good idea to just grab it off the top of the firebox because it's going to be hot. The handles on this billy can don't have any sort of protection on them, so they are just standard metal, so they will absorb the heat. Even with a pair of gloves, that was still really hot. But luckily, we managed to get it on the ground and not spill any. So now we've got the 750ml pot, and we're just going to double check the destructions on this MRE, and I think it's 7 to 8 minutes boiling time. So we'll just fold that up, stuff it in there, we'll get it topped up with some water and stick it on top of the firebox and leave it alone until it is ready to consume. So, has this knife earned its place in my kit bag? So, just having a quick look at this now, checking if there's been any glinting, any chipping, to which there hasn't been. It has kept its edge, and it is still very, very sharp. So, yes, I am very, very impressed with this knife from Apollo Blades. So, again, going back to my original knife, my camp-to-camp knife, I do prefer the handle on this. I prefer the way it sits in my hand and the finger grooves. I've been using this for a long time and it is still sharp. And it's kept its edge very well. And there's been no glinting or chipping on that. The other thing about this knife is I do like how the back end of it hooks, so I know it isn't going anywhere when I'm using it. Like I say, the only thing that I would like to see with the Apollo blade is this feature on the handle, so I know the knife isn't going to slide forward anywhere because it's hooked in place with the design of the handle. So to achieve that, Apollo need to extend the length of the back end of the knife to implement this, which will stop the knife going anywhere. But I am going to give this knife a solid 8 out of 10. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.